Hello, Cancer. It's Haley with Tarot from Beyond, here to provide you with your September 2018 reading. I pulled your Oracle card first, and so let's talk about that. So, the Four of Air talks about clearing the clutter in your life. Not only with regards to relationships, but in particular, the clutter in your home and in your daily routine. This card talks about being productive so that you can be creative and so that you can use your time wisely. When we sometimes don't put things back where they belong, sometimes we spend about an hour looking for it, and then that's just wasting our time toward what we could be doing instead, which is working toward our goals, This card just really, and Spirit is really advising you to, clear the clutter in your home so that when you walk into your house, everything is in its place and you feel that sense of peace because what's going on around you has a great impact on your mind. So if you feel like things are cluttered and you feel like things are not in their place and you feel like things are just all over the place, then mentally you're going to start to feel a little bit, chaotic, just as chaotic as your daily routine. So this card is telling you that the way to be the most productive that you can be is to set habits for yourself where everything has its place and you have a routine set every day as to what you're going to dedicate your time toward. Healthy habits such as this, really do create a sense of well-being, and it does create a sense of satisfaction when you know that you have a daily schedule that you are on that leads you, to the next step in your day, and that, it leads you toward where you're going. It doesn't mean don't spend, time allowing yourself to relax. Of course, always designate time for yourself to relax and get a peace of mind. But are you spending 5 hours, playing video games or 5 hours on social media when that's time that could be spent toward actually reaching your goals? That's what this card is saying. Clear the clutter. Not only just with people in your life, but also in your home. Make sure you put things back where they belong so that you know it'll be there when you look for it. Make sure that your paperwork is in order. Make sure that everything is in its place because it's going to really and truly help you feel more at ease and provide you with that peace that easily comes with organization and routine, okay? This card also cautions against, say you have a friend or whoever, let's say some of you do kind of have the habit of having a little bit of a cluttered environment, and be mindful of people around you who are either offering constructive criticism with regards to what they see, or if they're just ridiculing you for it. And then ask yourself, is this person really my friend? Because the way that they communicate with me regarding whatever may be true or not, is this person being, are they ridiculing me, or are they actually trying to be kind to me and help me and being, giving me that positive, constructive criticism so that I can further help myself and, set up that routine for myself that's going to help assist me in managing my time wisely so that I can reach my goals. So this card is just letting you know that it's reminding you, and of course, each month has a theme that Spirit just sticks on to make sure that everybody understands how important it is that whatever's going on the inside of you is going to be a reflection of what's going on outside of you. So if you have a tendency to not put things back and things start to get a little cluttered in your house, you don't really have much of a routine, and it's just kind of like, I'm trying to get this done, I'm trying to get that done, and then there's just no organization, Think about how that affects the mind, and think about how that affects, your ability to actually feel productive. This card talks about being productive so that it further assists your creative thoughts and further assists the goals that you're trying to reach, okay? So Cancer, that one was for you, all right? And that applies to a lot of people, not just you, Cancer, but this is the oracle card that you pulled. So this is for you. Now let's see how this applies to your reading. Give me a moment because I haven't shuffled yet. So let me go ahead and pause it, and then I will go ahead shuffle, and I'll cut in front of you because a lot of people have been saying, why don't you shuffle? It's because I'm holding a phone and I can't shuffle and hold a phone. So let me go ahead and shuffle real quick, and then I'll show you that I cut the cards, and then we'll talk about what's going on with the majority of you, okay? One moment. So as I was shuffling, I was thinking, and I want to pull this card back. You know why? Because when I was doing my readings yesterday, do you know I've been so engulfed in my work that I have not been keeping track of the dates? I thought that yesterday was August 23rd. Yesterday was August 25th. And tonight is the full moon. Okay? So yes, I did make a mistake with regards to the date of the full moon. And I want to talk to you guys about the full moon energy and how you can use it to your advantage. Because this card also relates to me, right? I'm so engulfed in my work to the point where I actually don't even keep track of time. Here I am doing readings, and I did 4 readings, and I said August 23rd, August 23rd, August 23rd, when really and truly yesterday was August 25th. Tonight is the full moon. So that was my mistake. Okay? And that is because, like I said, I've been so engulfed in what I've been doing and making sure that I meet my goals, and that I'm doing the things that I want to do. I have a hummingbird energy. I am, I'm an Aries. I like to learn fast. I like to complete fast, and I like to apply fast. And I am perfectly capable of doing that. It's actually a gift and a curse, but the curse part of it is when you actually get online and you sit here and you're doing readings and you're saying it's August 23rd when it's really the 25th because you've been so engulfed in your work that you're not keeping track of time. Do you not see how that also applies to me? So Cancer, for those of you who feel as though it's been called out that maybe some of you need to get into a better routine toward productivity, you're not alone, because I need to get into a routine of making sure I keep track of time. I can't be so engulfed in my work and so engulfed in my in what I'm doing to where the information that I'm providing with regards to dates or whatever else is, inaccurate because I'm so busy. So with this new moon energy, if those of you Cancer, some of you Cancer can relate to this oracle card that is, really advising you to clear the clutter, not just with regards to the people in your life that don't belong, but also with regards to just your home and making sure that everything is nice and organized and you have a daily routine that you follow to assist you in making sure that you accomplish your goals in a timely manner and assist you in your productivity. Set your intentions with this full moon by using the words I am and I have as though it's already here. I am organized. I do have a routine. I am not cluttered. I don't feel cluttered. I'm not cluttered. I am perfectly capable of fixing this issue overnight. I am perfectly capable of taking care of what I need to take care of so that my daily habits are conducive toward the goals that I'm trying to reach. I am going to use my time wisely and make sure that I don't spend 5 hours doing something, on social media rather than, using that time toward, meeting my goals. So I just wanted to let you know that We're all connected and we can all relate to each reading. Okay, so your cards have been shuffled, and now I'm going to cut them to show you that nothing's been orchestrated, because some people are giving me a little grief about that, but that's okay. I can't hold a phone and shuffle. But now they've been cut, so let's go. Let's see what's going on with Cancer. Okay. The Devil. The Three of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles. The Seven of Swords. The Tower. And the Five of Pentacles. So first, let's start off with, one simple truth, which is what I've been talking about with all zodiacs. Whatever's going on internally, you're going to see it externally, okay? So if you feel cluttered on the inside, your external factors are going to be cluttered. First, let's talk about the law of attraction, okay? If you have enslaved behavior to whatever it is, meaning that there's something that's actually controlling your thoughts or controlling your behavior to some degree, it has more control than you do, then that means that internally you feel like you don't have control in certain areas. Okay? This card actually represents working on a goal, actually working toward a business. So some of you Cancers are doing that, and that is why this oracle card picked up, because those of you who are working on meeting certain goals, you are being advised to make sure that you keep everything in its place and stay organized and make that a habit, okay? Because that's going to assist you greatly in making progress toward what you're trying to build. This means building something. You're trying to build something for yourself. And if you didn't have enough self-confidence to be able to say to yourself that I can do this, then you wouldn't be doing this. So that tells me that on the inside, a lot of you feel very capable, and you are likely attracting people who are assisting you toward what your goals are, and that's awesome. The Knight of Pentacles represents getting on your horse and figuring out what you're going to do to make sure that you maintain more of an income. You know what I'm saying? He's on his horse, and he's now being meticulous about what it's going to take to change the fact that money is tight right now for some of you. This also represents feeling left out in the cold. And I see that the Tower is also here, which means that something sudden likely occurred for some of you, something that kind of shook you. Maybe plans did not come about the way that you wanted them to, or maybe you had a sudden breakup with somebody. And this card represents theft, which can come in several different forms. So, in looking at this, I can easily come to the conclusion that a lot of you may be in relationships with people that have enslaved behavior, that steal from you in some way, shape, or form, whether it be your self-esteem or your ability to feel as though you can do this or do that. Being in an unhealthy relationship, sometimes our partners, depending on who we pick, can sometimes make us feel as though, we're less than what we are. And if we allow that, basically you're sending a signal out to the universe that says, bring me more people and more situations where I'll be stolen from. Okay, that's the law of attraction. And understand that. For those of you who feel like something suddenly happened, that kind of ungrounded you a little bit, understand that there's something that happened inside that perpetuated this. If you feel like the Tower and like this oh no moment, then something within you happened that made you feel like, oh no. You understand? We attract what we're feeling on the inside. Everything is energetically connected. And if your money is tight, then maybe some of you are telling yourself, that you can't do this and that you can't do that and that you can't, make the money that you want. You can't do this and you can't do that. And maybe the way that you're communicating with yourself is now, being projected externally. So how do we change this? How do we change this? You know how you change it? You get to know the part of yourself that is less familiar to you, which is your higher self. Of course, you're much more familiar with the physical part of yourself, because that part of yourself actually requires that get up and go right now. You're not going to eat if you don't get up and go right now. And sometimes that is the part of ourself that we are more familiar with, and that's the part of ourself that we spend more time with. And the people that we are today are the result of the choices that we've made and the choices that other people around us have made. It all boils down to choice. So, one moment, please. You guys are going to have to work with me, Cancer, because my children are here and I want to make sure that I provide you guys with your September readings. Nonetheless, I got distracted. So remember that whatever you're experiencing on the outside is a direct reflection of what's going on the inside of us, okay? And I was talking about how we have a part of ourselves that we are more familiar with, okay? And it's our physical being. The part that we are less familiar with is our spirit, okay? And that is our self-conscious, our subconscious, the subconscious part of ourself, okay? But believe it or not, you can communicate with your subconscious just like I'm talking to you right now. So with tonight's full moon on August 26th, set the intentions that you want. And one of them ought to be that you are able to communicate with your higher self immaculately. Because now I'm going to teach you how to create. I'm going to use the example of the magnet in all 12 zodiacs. I've made that announcement so far in all of my readings up to this point. Let's think about a magnet. You have a positive ion and a negative ion. That positive ion by itself is just that. That negative ion by itself is just that. But when you put them together, it creates a magnet. It creates something entirely different when you put the two together. And you have to understand that positive and negative ion are polar opposites, aren't they? One's positive and one's negative. Now, please understand, if you are in a relationship or have relationships with people that break up with you and hurt your feelings and suddenly and spring that on you and leave you left out in the cold and broke because they've taken your money meticulously and they've, stolen from you because they have enslaved behavior while you're over there trying to build something for yourself. That's a reflection of what's going on inside. So if you allow this type of behavior from other people, you've now said to yourself, to your higher self, that it's okay that these things happen to us. It's okay that these things happen to me. And then furthermore, you've now sent, out a signal to the universe that states, bring me more people to babysit that have all of these problems. The way that we fix these external problems is by responding to them positively. And the more that you know your higher self and the more tight that you are with your higher self and the more you understand your higher self, and your higher self are your feelings and your thoughts. That's your soul. Your feelings and your thoughts are your soul. The more that you are familiar with your soul And the more that you're able to communicate with your higher self, the more meticulous you're going to be with regards to how you respond positively to the negative circumstances going on in your life. So, if you respond positively, meticulously positively, and see that connection with our higher self will guide us directly to what that perfect positive move is going to be. You make a positive response to what's going on negatively, and you know what you'll create? You'll create a specific positive outcome. And that is how you create. That is how you change your external factors, the negative external factors that you don't want to see in your life. And vice versa. If you want to see positive things in your life, guess what? Start loving yourself more. When you love yourself more, guess what? You won't allow this kind of stuff in your life. And you won't attract people like that either. You see how this works? I'll say it again. If you love yourself, you're going to attract people who love you. If you are on your game and you are working on your goals, you know what you're going to attract? People who are on their game and working on their goals, who can actually assist you with what you're doing, and you can assist them with what they're doing because you guys share the same objectives. If you trust yourself, you're going to attract people who are trustworthy as well and who trust you. That's the law of attraction. But we can't forget the part of having a very good relationship with ourselves, because everything has its polar opposite. Every person has their polar opposite. Sometimes we could be the absolute best that we can be, and sometimes we could be the absolute worst that we can be. That's just the truth. But that makes us a whole person. There's nothing more beautiful and nothing more ugly. There's nothing more better. There's nothing more worse. I mean, we just are. We just are. And we consist of many layers, and we consist of many different facets. And we're all unique. And so when you really understand and you sit down and listen to yourself and you ask yourself what you want, I want you to observe some of the questions that you're asking. Are you asking questions such as, excuse me, one moment. Are you asking questions such as, when am I gonna, be able to go buy that diamond ring? Or when am I gonna be able to, go to, the racetrack? You have to ask yourself, is this really important toward the spiritual being that I'm really trying to be? That's how you listen to yourself, and that's how you learn who you really are, by knowing what you really want and then really observing what it is that you really want. Is it really important? Are these things trivial that you can completely handle on your own and take care of on your own? Or are you really wanting a better understanding of yourself so that you can create the life that you want? And stop attracting all of these negative instances in our lives. And see, Cancer, we know that you guys are very loving. On the inside, you guys are gushy, sweet. I mean, gushy lovers. And that's why you have to protect yourself with that outer shell. But once you let somebody in, they're in. And you know how to love people despite their crap. That's your expertise. And so that's why a lot of Cancers can easily find themselves in relationships that are totally not beneficial for them in any way, shape, or form. Right? Because love comes with a double-edged sword. It comes with, loving. Real love is loving people despite whatever the heck they got going on. But you have to understand that their energy also has to be dealt with by you. If they do something negative, you're going to respond. Now, either you're going to respond positively or you're going to respond negatively. So let's give an example. If somebody around you does something negative and you respond negative, now we have a more negative experience that will be, endured in this relationship or in this situation. Okay, whatever this may be. This may be a situation or a situation at work, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, because what I'm trying to teach you is something bigger. If you respond positively, right, and even though you may still be on your training wheels with regards to understanding this concept, let's just say you give any random positive response. You know what will happen? You'll just neutralize the situation, right? By being positive. Things aren't going to get any better and things aren't going to get any worse. Things are just going to stay the way they are. But see, the better you know yourself, the more meticulous your positive choices are going to be toward those negative external factors, and the more specific the creation. I hope that made sense. You can create whatever life you want, Cancer. And please understand, when you get rid of people who steal from you and have enslaved behavior and want to spring negativity on you and try to rock you to your core and make you feel ungrounded and have you feeling left out in the cold, and they're being meticulous with regards to your funds based on what you've built for yourself, respond positively to their negativity, but make sure you do it meticulously so that you can get a specific outcome. Respond positively to your negative external factors, and it will create a different outcome. And the better you know yourself, the better you're going to have control. I don't like the word control. You'll be able to manage your feelings, and you'll be able to manage your choices and your internal feelings about things better. You'll have more self-control, so to speak, with regards to the way that you respond to external negative factors. And when you do that, you're able to create specific outcomes. Okay? Creation comes with a positive and a negative. Everything has its polar opposite. I've used this example in other readings. The polar opposite of love is fear. When you love someone, you fear losing them. Right? And if that's not imbalanced, then we know how that can create either a sense of, insecurity, or a sense of, it can perpetuate all kinds of negative feelings when things are not in balance. But it's polar opposite. Love's polar opposite is fearing losing what you love. And that is a natural response. That's normal. But if there's too much fear and it doesn't match up with the amount of love, now fear has dominated the mind, and that's what you're going to attract. Situations and things that perpetuate fear. And if you love somebody so much that you're willing to put up with all of this chaos, then that's what you're going to continue to attract. So be mindful of the clutter in your life, okay? Whether it be a relationship, a friendship, a coworker, a work situation, no matter what it is, you can control your external factors by creating new external factors by responding positively to what's going on negatively in your life. For those of you who this resonated with, I ask that you hit like and subscribe and leave your comments. And for those of you who would like to go into your personal cards so that we could talk about what's really going on with some of you personally, so that we can talk about how to better manage your external factors by managing your internal factors, take a look at my services and consider getting a private reading, because I'm a spiritual guidance counselor. That's what I do. I'm a teacher, and I can teach you how to make the choices that are conducive toward your growth, conducive toward you actually really living the life that you want. So with that being said, I hope that you are well and that you take care of yourself. Speak to yourself kindly, because remember, I'm just using this as an example, Cancer. If you hate yourself, you're going to attract people who hate you. And if you love yourself, you're going to attract people who love you. And I can go on and on with that. So understand that concept and start to apply it. And if you've got any clutter in your life with regards to people who don't belong, even in your day-to-day tasks, clutter at home, whatever, you're being advised that now is the perfect time to set up a daily routine for yourself that is going to benefit you. I promise you. It's going to make your mind feel a lot less freed up, a lot less cluttered, and a lot more freed up. A lot more freed up and less cluttered. And it's going to assist you toward what you're trying to build for yourself. Because I can clearly see that some of you are trying to build something for yourself, but some of you may have some relationships that you either just ended or relationships that just continue to be like this, that you have to babysit. And when you're spending all your time babysitting this person's energy, how much time are you leaving for yourself so that you can actually spend some time with yourself? With this full moon's energy, set your intentions. Use the words I am and I have as though you already have these things, and then watch them come to fruition. All right, my Cancers, I will talk to you soon. Namaste.